We're delighted to extend the partnership with Go Ahead Ireland. They're an organisation that serves communities all over Dublin and helps serve our club members around the county, and it's been a brilliant partnership for the last 3 years, and we're delighted to extend for a further 2 years.
Like us, Dublin GAA are embedded in their community, so it was a really natural fit. For us, it was important to find a partner that was inclusive, but also had that community identity, and that's exactly what we found in Dublin GAA. Since we started the partnership, they've been really easy to work with, and we're really excited to continue the journey together.
In those 3 years, we actually accomplished a lot with Dublin GAA. We were privileged to be able to work with both local and national charities with them, as well as working on several GAA initiatives.
This partnership allows us to support Club League and Championship with initiatives such as our Dubs TV live streaming platform. We try and stream as many games as possible, particularly during the championship season where we can from a logistical point of view around grounds, and that is something we will continue to try and deliver over the coming years and keep enhancing club championship product and club leagues around the county across all 4 codes.
In the coming months, we're going to be continuing growing our services. And while we do that, that means that we'll be serving more GAA community clubs than ever before.
This year alone, we're going to be introducing the Development Fund for Accessibility as part of our partnership, which is going to see core infrastructure at Dublin GAA developed. In the summer, we're also introducing the Go Ahead Ireland Dublin LGFA Summer Skills Camps, which will be held in July and August.
As Dublin's best performing public bus operator, we're going to continue to work really hard on delivering for our customers and our communities.
Welcome to Parnell Park for the Go Ahead Ireland Senior 2 Club Hurling Championship final between Naomh Barróg and St Oliver Plunkett Ruadh. These two teams have arguably already achieved their aim for the season, but they want to get their hands on a cup. And they want to go into Senior 1 as Senior 2 champions. Of course, coming up a little bit later on is the Senior 1 final. You'll be able to watch that one on RTE television, or if you're outside of Ireland, through GAA Go. Well, for Naomh Barróg, Paddy Doyle jumps off the team sheet, but they've got quite an amount of talent there as well. And in Josh Rooney, a very, very decent shot stopper, as we saw in the warm-up, Shane Stapleton.
Did once or twice he made saves, and I know I saw you were faced the wrong way, and I turned you around and I said, you want to have a look at the save he's after making here. So if the warm-up is that to go by, he's going to be really exceptional in the goals. And you've mentioned Paddy Doyle. What I think, based on the semi-final that they had against Crokes' second team, when they had a really good performance, he'll probably end up as a spare man back there. Maybe Joe Flanagan might go out around the middle of the field and look to link up with him, and that's something that Plunketts are certainly going to have to try and nail down.
Joe Flanagan, another man with county experience. There's quite an amount of it on that field. Let's have a look at St Oliver Plunkett Ruadh. They've won this title in relatively recent times, about 9 years ago, but only 5 or 6 players have survived from that. But the manager, Derek Brennan, was part of that team, and obviously he's the link now because he is the Bonishtor, and there is a real spine of that team. They're very, very strong, aren't they?
Yeah, they certainly are. And it was very interesting. We saw it wasn't until 5:18 that we saw them come out on the pitch here. So they did their warm up, I'm guessing, in the Crave Astro area, which is just adjacent to the stand across from us here. So it was very, very unusual to see them come out that late. Like some of the players that I'm seeing there, Jack O'Shea, we saw him involved in the footballers this year, the Clerkins as well. Killian Hayes is somebody that's going to have to be nailed down. And I was talking to Ryan O'Dwyer, who's manager of the Fogs team, and he reckoned that he was a player that they looked to kind of shut down. But both teams, I reckon, are going to try and leave 2 men inside, maybe even one at times, and try and flood the middle and see who wins the war there.
And there is the substitution lineup. Some familiar names in there. They may well be called upon in this game. Naomh Barróg taking on Plunketts in the Senior 2 decider. For Plunketts, they've shown remarkable consistency over the last couple of years, Shane. Sorry, I beg your pardon, Naomh Barróg. They've shown remarkable consistency over the last couple of years. I think this is their third semi-final in a championship over the last 4 years, which is not bad, is it?
Yeah, they're definitely a club that's been building over the last couple of years. They're not the only one, but certainly they are. And like, you see Paddy Doyle, he's somebody who's obviously nailed a place down with Dublin over the last 2 years, and really good player. He was centre back for the DCU Freshers last year, absolutely dominant. Sean Gallagher is someone that we're seeing involved with Dublin. Joe Flanagan, brilliant free taker. So that's something that Plunketts are going to have to be very aware of, giving away silly little frees in scoreable areas, because generally he is going to nail them. So, and also something about Barróg, and this would be very much in contrast to Plunketts. And you know, if you talk about the two semi-finals, Plunketts or Barróg were taking shots from absolutely everywhere, whereas Plunketts had just one wide in their first half against Fogs. Really economical.
It's a third semi-final in 3 years, just to get that right. And that's remarkable consistency out of Naomh Barróg. In 2022, Plunketts hurlers made history when they won back-to-back Division 2 league titles, so that suggests that they are also building. Of course, there was no promotion in 2021 due to the pandemic. It wasn't until the 2023 season that Derek Brennan and his squad were able to participate in the Division 1 league, and playing at that level, it just sharpens you up, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Barróg have had they were up there in Division 1 as well, and it can be tough up there, especially if you have a couple of county lads that aren't available for you during that league campaign. You can have a couple of tough days against some of the bigger clubs who have just unbelievable depth up there. But watching the two teams coming in, the physicality, the size of both teams is something that really stood out to me. Barróg, very athletic team. Maybe some of the bigger units are on the Plunketts side, so you'll have a nice little balance there as well. I expect this to be really, really physical from the get-go.
2015, the last time that Plunketts won what was then known as the Senior B, now known as the Senior 2. Just 5 of that squad involved today. That's not just players, that's just involved generally. Éanna Boland, Ronan O'Brien and Conor MacDonald on the playing side. Current manager Diarmuid Brennan and selector Kevin Fitzsimons also there. The captain of Plunketts, Brian MacDonald. And he's a man who knows his way around the field. The captain of Naomh Barróg, by the way, Nathan Kidd. It's a big weekend in Dublin. As I say, the Senior 1 final coming up a little bit later on between the Fina and Kilmacud Crokes. And Shane, I'm led to believe that Naomh Olaf, your team, they're in action tomorrow. Well, I'm not led to believe. I know they are.
You have the match programme in front of you. It tells you
I read
it's
it
on tomorrow.
in the match programme and on the Dublin GA website.
Yeah, it's a huge weekend for all the clubs that are involved, as it was for the football just gone as well. The Senior 3 final, that's kind of been deferred. There's a bit of jiggery-pokery going on there, so we'll find out how that goes in a while. But for any of the management teams, whether it's the Senior 2 here, the Senior 1 later, and the Fianna Crokes, that's going to be a brilliant game. Or the game that I'm involved in tomorrow as manager, Naomh Olaf against Commercials. All you want to do is your team to go out and give the absolute best that they possibly can. And after that, you'll accept the result. Of course, you're desperate to win. But just as a starting point, if your team can go out and just produce the best performance they can, you'll almost take whatever follows.
Well, if you're coming to that game tomorrow, just watch out because the marathon is on, the Irish Life Dublin Marathon. So plan your route carefully. Shane, I'm sure you have it all locked in, planned and sorted. You've passed on the GPS system to your team to guide them here and all that.
As you know, real details, man.
Absolutely. Despite the fact that there's a few raindrops falling from the sky, it's a nice evening for hurling, isn't it?
It's lovely, and we walked the pitch a little bit earlier on, and for late October, you'd absolutely take this. It's a small bit soft, but nothing that you wouldn't expect at this time of the year. But the pitch looks really good. The in-goal area inside the 6-yard box looks really good. So maybe you'll get the odd funny bounce because that's just the way it is. It's going to be a small bit soft at times, but I think the pitch is brilliant. The evening is perfect. You could have 30-mile-an-hour winds. We don't have any of that kind of crack here, so it's set up to be a really good game.
Naomh Barróg against St Oliver Plunkett on Ruadh in the Senior 2 Go Ahead Ireland Dublin Championship final, and they're already not taking a step back even though the game hasn't started. It has now. And Plunketts get the first possession. Brian MacDonald, very experienced man, blocked down, smothered well by Naomh Barróg. Naomh Barróg in the green and red. Plunketts in the, I suppose we'd say navy, would we? Trying to collect that one as Dennis McSweeney drops it, gets it back up again. A fairly frantic start. Conor MacDonald didn't find that one too hot to handle. Eventually he was just crowded away from it. Bending his back, Brian MacDonald looking for someone in space. Hard to find at the moment here in Parnell Park, but Conor Scully makes a bit of space, getting away from Rory MacDonald. Scully wide, he was unlucky.
Yeah, and he's been involved from the get-go. He's been throwing his body in straight away. Both teams have had nice big blocks there, so both getting themselves into the game early, and you can see that they're both at least pulling one man out from the full forward line.
Naomh Barróg through Paddy Doyle. His kind of experience will be vital out there tonight, won't it? As Sean Gallagher has fouled.
Well, you can give Paddy Doyle the ball any which way under pressure, and he'll find a way out and he'll keep the ball moving forward. So it's just a brilliant player to have at the centre of your defence where you can really have traffic there, but he'll normally find a way out of it.
Well, a stoppage quite early into the game, not ideal for either team. This crowd already big, and it will grow throughout the evening. As we say, the main prize for these two was to get back up Senior 1. They have done that, but they want to go there with a piece of tin. Conor Tyrrell gathers, gets it outside. Conor MacDonald. Plunkett's trying to work it through. Sean Clerkin has dropped back as a sweeper, and that means that Naomh Barróg have a spare defender, Adam Rooney, at the moment just looking at Niall Ring. Maybe he might be able to pop it to him. Niall Ring was waiting for it, doesn't receive it. And that's a lovely ball into space, and Paddy Doyle gathers, he'll go for the shot here. Paddy Doyle, it's dropping, but it mightn't go wide. Naomh Barróg with a man in there, that was Sean Doyle, tried to get under that one but couldn't quite manage to do so.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a reflection of how Barróg are happy to take on a shot from all different angles, and Paddy's probably a little bit disappointed with that effort.
It's a Plunketts ball. O'Brien, Rooney. Assessing his options there, that was Niall Ring. McDonald moves it on. Harry Nolan.
They're patient on the ball.
Probing from Niall Ring. Oh, it's a good ball out in front. Sean Doyle gets there, but he's stuck to by Conor Foley. Doyle got the shot away. Going after it now is Hart, but it was taken up by Bill McCormack.
Yeah, shot under pressure
Again,
there.
another wise old head between the sticks. McSweeney goes direct where it's 2-on-3 in favour of Naomh Barróg, but it breaks to one of the two, and that's Niall Clerkin. Clerkin swats it and puts it over. That's a delicious score by Clerkin. Neil Clerkin.
The thing that stood out to me there is that Niall Ring is back as the +1, because obviously they want Paddy Doyle to attack from deep a little bit more. He's released. And when that ball went up in the air, I thought he was just a little bit too static and he wasn't looking to get to the break as quick as he might have.
Gallagher. Wide. Naomh Barróg have missed a few chances.
Yeah, and it's exactly what we were saying beforehand, that they will shoot from all distances, and two of their big players, Sean Gallagher and Paddy Doyle, have had the chances early, and maybe they should be looking to play it inside a little more.
Just got away from Nathan Kidd, a little bit of a tangle afterwards. Can he keep it in play? That's Dennis McSweeney. McSweeney goes to ground. They're right under us here, Shane. If this is a game that doesn't matter, no one told either of these two teams. They're really going at it, aren't they?
Oh, it absolutely does. Silverware on the line. You want to bring home that cup.
Owen Hart just couldn't quite execute the shot. Owen Hart.
Yeah, and a little bit off balance there as well. The shot selection so far from Barróg, and I know we're dwelling on it a little bit, but it is letting them down.
David Phelan took his eye off it, and it's a line ball to Naomh Barróg.
Well, you can see Plunketts are going short with a couple of their early ones, but their cornerbacks are going to have to be safer on the ball than that. And with Barróg withdrawing out the field, it's happened both ends of the pitch. You are going to have to be able to work it out, because otherwise you're probably just hitting it into a melee in the middle of the pitch. You can see again here, Doyle is released to well up the pitch, and it's Niall Ring sitting back.
Paddy Doyle. Oh, that's a really, really fine puck-up ball. Sean Gallagher tries to come up with another one, and does, and gets the equaliser.
Excellent. Scored away, he turned that back and fired it over the pitch. Really, really impressive.
Worth another look. Paddy Doyle. Perfect service, perfect delivery. Sean Gallagher, perfect finish. Sean Clerkin couldn't quite keep it in play. Line ball to Naomh Barróg. Niall Ring finds his man, that's Finn MacDonald. Paddy Doyle. A looping hand pass that does work out. Well, maybe it doesn't. McSweeney is fouled, it's a free in. If it's even an inch off in a game like this, the opposition can take advantage.
Well, that's a perfect example of you make one mistake, which is that was Adam Rooney. He didn't quite get the touch right and followed it up with second one by leaving the hand in. You do panic in those moments. You feel like, I need to try and do something to make up for it. Left the hand in too long, and it should be a fairly handy free here for Plunketts.
Lots of action across the weekend and things to tidy up over the next couple of weeks. Keep an eye on the Dublin GA website, the Dublin GA social media channels, and of course, if you want to subscribe to Dubs TV, you can do so via the Dublin GA YouTube. Also listen out on FM 104, Dublin's new media partners. Neil Clerkin puts it over.
Two shots for Clerkin so far in the game, both straight between the posts. So if he's given an opportunity, he's going to punish you.
Paddy Doyle. Zippy ball. Harry Nolan had enough time and space to make up for the drop. You wouldn't blame him because it kind of flew at him. Intercepting it is Conor Scully. Scully's such a hard worker, isn't he? Sean Clerkin. Tyrrell. 2-on-1 in favour of Barróg, but the one is Ben McSweeney. Ben McSweeney tries to make a break. Ben McSweeney still battling for it, gets a bit of help from Dennis McSweeney, but Naomh Barróg carry it out.
Well, Barróg got away with one there because two men went up for the one ball, and it did break for McSweeney, but he didn't quite get onto it. But that's something that there needs to be, that clear communication.
Well, it just goes to show you can work it and all that through the lines, but when you have the option of Ben McSweeney as the big man at the edge of the square, it's always a good one, isn't it?
Certainly is, and it was a good ball in from Conor Tyrrell. But we've seen Barróg trying to work it out from the back, and they're really good at showing for the ball, but a couple of times the hand passes have hit the floor, and you know, like late October, the bounce can be a little bit funny. That ball has to hit hand, and they've been turned over once or twice because of it.
It's a long ranger, but he's more than capable. Not much of a breeze there. The breeze that is there is blowing down towards the opposite end, the Donnycarney Church end. Nathan Kidd guides it over. An outstanding strike by Nathan Kidd. Naomh Barróg kind of dropped off the puck out there. Killian Hayes. A probing ball, looking perhaps for Dennis McSweeney. Again, just 2-on-1 there, and Naomh Barróg win that battle. Adam Rooney as he fouled referee.
It had to be steps, didn't it?
Overcarried free in.
That's a couple of frees. Rooney is showing for the ball and he's getting on the ball, much to his credit, but that's a couple of frees he's given away in the space of a few minutes, and the way Clerkin has started, you'd be nearly shocked if he didn't put this over.
Neil Clerkin. Puts it over, good score. Very good score. Paddy Doyle. Bottled up. Well taken, Niall Ring. Paddy Doyle. It's risky enough, it's intercepted by Brian McDonald. Brian McDonald gets the pass away. There could be a goal on here, it's Killian Hayes. Great block. And then tidied up by Adam Rooney. Back to the goalkeeper, it's blocked down by Killian Hayes. Hayes goes after it. Hayes still there battling, it's a free out.
Could have gone the other way too, but you can see that Barróg are having real difficulty working that ball out, and a lot of that is to do with Plunketts. Their pressure has been excellent.
Rooney. Not a clean catch. David Phelan then tidies it up. Clerkin. There's some real contest going on out there. McSweeney with a big shoulder, a fair one too, and he's fouled and it's a free in. That's a big moment for Plunketts.
Sure is, and I thought Killian Hayes nearly got the hand taken off him there, didn't protect himself going up, but another free one there. Good physicality from Dennis McSweeney, putting his body on the line, and you know, Harry Nolan and Sean Gallagher were trying to not foul him, but they just left the hand in a little bit too long.
Neil Clerkin, more than capable of putting this one over from here, has already nailed two of them. Granted, from much closer in. One of them was at a tight enough angle. Clerkin has the distance, but is it veering off? It is. Rooney. Going after that one is Sean Doyle. And it's a free out.
Nathan Kidd might have just been letting the timber fly as that ball was coming up in the air. Referee obviously felt it was a little bit loose.
Yellow card for Nathan Kidd. Bill McCormack cushions it. Has a bit of a lumper of a puck out, but went with accuracy rather than length there. Here's O'Brien. Wide.
That was really nicely played. Lovely stuff from Bill McCormack, and Ronan O'Brien turned his man very, very well, and you'd expect him to pop it over after doing such good approach work.
Naomh Barróg running it out now. He has to go off the hurley. Ring. Rooney. He was closed down really well there, but he did manage to get it to Paddy Doyle. Paddy Doyle gets himself and his team out of trouble. Stealing away is Ryan, and then pickpocketing is Conor Foley. Gives it off to Brian McDonald. Adam Rooney. Rooney is fouled, free out.
I think he ran into his own man there. But you'd have to credit the Plunketts, the amount of pressure they're getting on high up the pitch and making Barróg look a small bit kind of panicky coming out with the ball. To be fair, Barróg are trying to do the right thing, but they've been forced into mistakes and the ball isn't going to hand.
Paddy Doyle has been so impressive. You can see why he has worn blue as well as green and red.
Yeah, absolutely. But the way he's been released, he's going to need to get forward on the ball a little bit higher up the pitch, because he does have Niall Ring sitting back there. And obviously the plan is to do that. He's trying to bring it out at times, but they'll want to get him on the ball a little bit higher up the pitch at times if they can.
Does it have the legs and the accuracy? Oh, it does. It's a monster free, a massive score, and it was really well struck by Nathan Kidd.
Yeah, really, really good. That's 2 frees from his own half that he's popped over, and that'll put Plunketts on notice that they can't be giving away frees, even though that one seemed a little generous.
Who's going to win the break? They're tough won, these breaks. Killian Hayes came to him more by accident than design, tries to get away from Paddy Doyle. Hayes with the diag. Ben McSweeney running after, trying to keep it in play. He does. Clerkin goes down over it, gets a bit of support from Tyrrell. Can they get a shot away? That's a free in. Clever play by Brian McDonald. He knew what was coming there.
Yeah, and Clerkin, I think the hand had gone up for advantage before that. Clerkin had already drawn a free, but you know, they're going at their man, they're testing him, and you know, forcing Barróg into these, I suppose, these handy little fouls. This could be a 3rd free already. And you'd expect this one to go over.
Clerkin. I don't think you or I expected anything else but that to go over, and it did. Clerkin has got all of Plunkett's scores so far. 3 of them from frees. Shane, at this time of year, frees have a bigger influence on the destination of a result. Is that a fair comment?
Oh, absolutely, and we can see it there again. Plunketts are probably just getting out that bit easy. There's been a few frees handed away from Barróg, and probably at both ends of the field, really.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something that the management will look to nail down the next while, the discipline of the Barróg players to not give away those little handy frees.
I was listening to some analysis ahead of... Conor Tyrrell saves blushes. Bill McCormack, a rare error, doesn't make a second one. Good keeper, Bill McCormack. McDonald goes after it. McDonald just can't get it into the hand first time, second time, tries it third time, doesn't give up on anything. Naomh Barróg bunch in there. Frees and rucks. More prominent at this time of year, or certainly more important maybe at this time of year. And that is, well, I think that's turned into a rolling maul. Naomh Barróg come away with it, really good win of possession. Here's Harry Nolan. Paddy Doyle. Doyle with a little show and go. Doyle somehow gets the ball to Niall Ring. Niall Ring dispossessed by Dennis McSweeney, coming back to try and win it. Owen Hart. Owen Hart, great ball. Killian Hayes. And Hayes puts it over.
what a
Well,
score
they just
from Plunkett.
battled hard and won the break.
Yeah, they just never gave up, and the fact that they turned over the talisman for Barróg as well, Paddy Doyle, forced another mistake here, and then Killian Hayes puts that over the bar very well, steadied himself down. But again, it's this pressure from Plunketts.
Kieran Gallagher comes out to meet us. The rain has made it quite slippy out there. The pitch in good condition for this time of year. Shea mentioned earlier on, we did walk on it earlier on. Scrambling after it, Gallagher again. The referee does the wise thing of just going for the clash ball.
You can see Barróg are trying to isolate Sean Doyle one-on-one inside. Conor Foley's picking him up. They'd love to get that ball in good and quick, but so far they've really struggled to get early ball in there and get lads isolated.
As I was saying earlier on, heard some analysis ahead of the Kilkenny senior final tomorrow, Loughlin Gales and Thomastown, and it was said that if either team gives too many frees away, they lose because of the free takers on either side. I think you could make the same argument here between Nathan Kidd and Neil Clerkin.
That looked like a
Sean
pickup
Doyle.
from Sean Doyle.
Free in.
There's bear hugs, there's all sorts of hugs going on here, but it is a free for Barróg.
Have a look at the replay there. Jack O'Shea arguing the point.
Yeah, maybe he did manage to grab it when it was bouncing up off the turf, but I thought that was a pickup initially. But either way, you'd expect this to be a handy point now for Kidd.
Kidd. 3 frees for him.
Well, both free takers are on form so far today, so that discipline fouling becomes even more important. Or discipline tackling, I should say.
McCormick got it outside to Tyrrell. Tyrrell carries and then goes long. Coming out to try and meet it as Neil Clerkin. Man out in front of him though, he was never favoured to win that one. Owen Hart. Paddy Doyle, he'll go for it from here. And that is why.
See, I think that's the difference. This time when they were working it out of the back line, it stuck, and Owen Hart, he gathered the ball and was able to do a switch hand pass straight off to Paddy Doyle. So that's the difference, the ball sticking.
Tyrrell, good ball. Killian Hayes. Hayes winds up, and well, it's an unusual kind of ball to Dennis McSweeney. McSweeney couldn't hang on to it. Rooney. Good take. Owen Hart. Hart. I know it was said about a different Hart, but the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Brilliant score. I was trying to get that Owen Hart pun in all day.
The excellence of execution then for Bret Hart, I suppose.
Brilliant.
But I thought the chance was gone when he turned back, but wound up in a really, really nice strike there.
McCormick. Conor Foley. David Phelan. Good take by Brian McDonald. McDonald drops it and just dusts it off and picks it up again. Reedy was trying to stop him but couldn't do so. And they just run out of pitch. It's upped, hasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly has. And you can see, like, both teams brought a man out to the middle of the pitch, which has turned it into such a war zone. And you can see Killian Hayes is, he's on the 21 at the top end of the pitch at one stage, his own 45 another end. You can see Nathan Kidd coming out the field, and sometimes they're picking each other up. So it's just a bit of a battle zone in there.
Conor McDonald. Good pass, McSweeney. Dennis rather than Ben. Josh Rooney. Good spray of the ball by Rooney. Hart can't hang on to it. He won't give up on it. Conor McDonald and him going at it. That's brilliant again from Hart. Niall Ring falls to his teammate more by accident than design. That teammate Harry Nolan, and Harry Nolan is fouled by David Phelan.
Chance for Barróg to go 2 ahead when you consider that Joe Flanagan is now on the pitch, and this is a guy with Dublin experience, and that they're putting themselves in this position after a up and down start to the game.
Nathan Kidd. Just let it slip through his fingers. Here's Paddy Doyle. An unusual hand pass, but a legal one. Harry Nolan wins the free in. Advantage being played. And now they'll just take the free.
Got 2 frees in a row, one by Nolan.
Shane, your own team, Naomh Olaf, tomorrow in a very similar position. You were saying it, while the main aim might be achieved, you want to win. You want to get guys used to winning as well. Now, these two teams, I suppose, are, but...
Yeah, I mean, I'd look at it as the main aim is actually to win the title. And promotion's a byproduct of that. So, and I'd imagine the exact same on the commercial side. I mean, I ran into manager Sean Power, I think it was after the All-Ireland semi-final or maybe even the final or whatever, and it was a case of, it was early in the championship, and it was a case of, sure, we might see each other in the final type thing. And, we played a league game earlier in the year and they won it, but it was a really good game. So it'll be a puck of a ball, but both teams will want to win the title.
McSweeney tries to get it under control, falls kindly for Nathan Kidd. Kidd heard the shout, gave it down the line, well controlled, popped out. Ryan. And Ryan nails it. Really good score.
That's 6 points in a row now for Barróg, and Plunketts, they were all over Barróg earlier in the game. They really need a score just to settle.
In a Boland.
3 catches.
Free in. They're really putting the pressure on and squeezing them.
Well, and this was the thing that Barróg were struggling with earlier in the game, working out their own ball, and now they've totally flipped the script on Plunketts, and that'll make Plunketts a bit less inclined to go short the next time. Maybe they'll hit into the numbers that Barróg have. So very much Barróg on top at the moment. And this man on the free is popping him over for sports. That's the other thing as well. He's not going to let Plunketts off the hook. I've jinxed him, haven't I, Ocean?
Kidd. A clean sounding strike. It was right under us. And an accurate one as well, which is the most important part. Generally one leads to the other. Carried forward by David Phelan. Oh, big hit.
That was a shoulder.
We'll get another look at that.
It was certainly high. I think that was Eoghan Boland who took the hit, was it? No, maybe not. Number 2, I think. Oh, he did lean in with the shoulder. Sorry, it was number 4, Robbie Reid with the hit. He might do well to stay on here if the referee has seen that. You hate to see a lad get sent off in the final, but he could be under a bit of bother.
In Reid's defence, I think he was just kind of standing there, and it was more a collision with him than the other way around. Conor Tyrrell on the ground. Let's hope he's okay. You don't want to see anyone lose out this early in a game for any reason.
Look, I hate seeing red cards, but I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked with that. And I mean, Barróg had just gotten into a double scores lead, and now this flips things around again. And you know what? The other thing is Plunketts, having just struggled to work a ball out, they were brave enough to do it again. And obviously they weren't looking for a red card or anything, but oh, what a moment in the game.
We might get another look at that. And now Neil Clerkin stands over the free. 15 against 14. We'll get a look at some of the incidents in this game at half-time. Incidents so far. And we'll definitely have another look at that. An excellent free by Neil Clerkin.
Yeah, talk about sinking the dagger in. Incredible free from Clerkin, and his team really, really needed it. And what a flip in momentum we've had.
Gallagher. They're moving it through the lines. Harry Nolan bottled up, still gets the ball away to Nathan Kidd. Nathan Kidd will have another chance to have a strike at goal. I suppose all you can do when you are at a numerical disadvantage is move it through the lines as quickly as you can, because if you go long, you're just giving it away and they have extra players who run it up the park.
Yeah, and I suppose Barróg will try and keep someone up at the very, very top end of the pitch and hope that a second defender comes back to mark him, and that would even up the numbers out around the middle of the pitch. But Harry Nolan, I think that's the third free he's won in about 5 minutes, and Kidd has been knocking him over pretty dead-eyed so far. So that's really important to settle his team just a little bit after such a blow.
Kidd, as the rain begins to bucket down again, that mightn't be coming across on TV. What definitely came across is the excellence of Kidd's strike. Plunkett's running it out. Presenting himself as an option is Hayes. McCormack. In acres of space is Éanna Boland. Had to come to collect it. Slipped off the tackle of Gallagher. David Phelan.
It's man-to-man back here.
Battle on for possession. And a free and one by Plunketts. Excellent battling by Ben McSweeney.
Yeah, and that's the little difference that we have now. Niall Ring was able to stand back as the sweeper and sort of dictate play, get on the ball an awful lot and be that, I suppose, that backup in case a ball was hit up the field and it broke. Whereas now, you saw from the start of that puck out, Barróg had to push up a little bit more. They were playing man-to-man at the back, so that will present an opportunity.
Clerkin squeezes that one over. There was a second of doubt there, wasn't there? There was a silence in the ground from both supporters.
He probably knew well enough straight away.
No, well, he knew.
Yeah.
As did you. McDonald, a slip allows him to run into a bit of space. 3-on-1 back there. Naomh Barróg have a man down. That's very casual defending. 2 go for the 1 ball. But it still works out for Plunketts. Tyrrell. McSweeney. Dennis McSweeney is going to go for this. It might drop. Keeper Rooney comes out to meet it and just scoops it out ahead. Rooney has to scramble back and does get it. He'll be pressurised by Hayes. And Rooney clears his lines. Kept alive. Shoot is the shout at Sean Clerkin. It will drop inside the square. McSweeney goes for it. Has he caught it? Oh, he caught it, but then he let it go as soon as he hit the ground. He had to climb high in the sky there. He had to call air traffic control. He went so high. He was unlucky in the end that they get nothing from it. It's a free out to Naomh Barróg.
Yeah, and Paddy Doyle is going to have to be on double duty now to be back sweeping now that Niall Ring isn't going to be able to do that job as much. But he's also going to have to be able to drive forward too.
And that's half time. Naomh Barróg by 4, but they are down a man. Robbie Reedy, unfortunately getting sent off. We'll have a look at that incident and a few of the others in a moment, Shane, but what are you making of it?
Well, it's just a game that's ebbing and flowing each way. At the start of the game, Plunketts, they were just so dead-eyed with the ball, and Niall Clerkin, who has scored everything bar 1 point. Killian Hayes got 1 score and he had a great chance for another one, but there's nobody else contributing on the scoreboard for Plunketts. But even so, they were 3-1 ahead, they were 5-3 ahead, but then Plunketts just totally took over and they scored, what was it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row.
Yeah.
And then that red card came.
Here's the highlights of the game so far. This is a fine score.
Oh, this is beautiful from Gallagher.
Sean Gallagher popping it over. Good score. Neil Clerkin has been good from the frees. He's scored 5 by my count and 1 from play. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right there, yeah. And from different angles too.
Yep.
Nathan Kidd as well has been really, really impressive off the tee. If I can borrow some rugby parlance.
You know, I don't mind.
Yeah, this was a really good opportunity to score and should have taken that, Killian Hayes.
Easy to say now, but maybe he should have just popped it over when there was a few bodies between him and the goal, but you kind of have to admire that he went for it.
Yeah,
now, was he fouled here?
I think 6-1 really. Okay. But that was great work from Hayes.
I was looking for a yes or no answer. I can be vague, you can't. That's a good long range free. This one short range but at a tight angle. Clark can put it over. Don't forget the Senior 1 final coming up a little bit later on. That's live on RTE television. Killian Hayes lined it up and sent it over. Good score. Really good work from Sean Doyle here. Jack O'Shea holding him up quite literally.
I'm not really sure who's doing anything wrong there. He just jumped on top of him. That was really nice playing.
Yeah.
Barróg hadn't been scoring many from play up to that point, but they need Paddy Doyle doing that throughout.
And this started a period of pressure for them, didn't it?
Yeah, they just totally took over and scored 7 in a row. Really nice score from Eoghan Hart there. There he is involved once more.
He was excellent here. They won the free, and Kidd duly obliged by putting it over. And another one. And they were on top, which makes what happens, well, not next, but not far off it, all the more frustrating.
Yeah, Kieran Gallagher set that one up. We need to see a small bit more from him. Like, he's a very physical player, but just needs to get into it a little more.
Now here's the sending off, Robbie Reedy.
Look, you hate seeing a lad get sent off, and I mean, it was with the shoulder, but unfortunately it didn't connect with his shoulder. So
Yeah.
And I do not like seeing a lad get sent off, but you
Rules
you
are rules.
You have to control yourself going in.
Yep. And those rules are there for player protection. Even if a player doesn't mean any great harm or miss times, rules are rules, unfortunately. Well, fortunately. You know what I mean. Sean Clerkin launching this one. Quite the catch by Ben McSweeney.
Yeah, and Doyle doing really, really well. And he's going to have to do that all the second half. And you might notice it if you haven't been here much, but there is going to be a hill that Barróg are going to have to play up against in the second half. So he's going to have to be everywhere.
The rain has got heavier. It was a nice evening, but it has turned. Don't forget the Senior 1 final, the go-ahead Dublin Senior 1 Hurling Championship final between Nafina and Kilmacud Crokes is coming up a little bit later on. You can watch that one on RTE television. 7:45 is the throw-in time for that. Extra time and penalties if required for this one. Doesn't look like it's going that way yet, but there could be some more twists and turns. Half-time, Naomh Barróg, 11 points. St. Oliver Plunkett, Eoghan Ruadh, 7 points. We'll be back shortly.
We're delighted to extend the partnership with Go Ahead Ireland. They're an organisation that serves communities all over Dublin and helps serve our club members around the county, and it's been a brilliant partnership for the last 3 years, and we're delighted to extend for a further 2 years.
Like us, Dublin GAA are bedded in their community, so it was a really natural fit. For us, it was important to find a partner that was inclusive, but also had that community identity, and that's exactly what we found in Dublin GAA. Since we started the partnership, they've been really easy to work with, and we're really excited to continue the journey together.
In those 3 years, we actually accomplished a lot with Dublin GAA. We were privileged to be able to work with both local and national charities with them, as well as working on several GAA initiatives.
This partnership allows us to support Club League and Championship and initiatives such as our Dubs TV live streaming platform. We try and stream as many games as possible, particularly during the championship season where we can from a logistical point of view around grounds, and that is something we will continue to try and deliver over the coming years and keep enhancing club championship product and club leagues around the county across all 4 codes.
In the coming months, we're going to be continuing growing our services. And while we do that, that means that we'll be serving more GAA community clubs than ever before.
This year alone, we're going to be introducing the Development Fund for Accessibility as part of our partnership, which is going to see core infrastructure at Dublin GAA developed. In the summer, we're also introducing the Go Ahead Ireland Dublin LGFA Summer Skills Camps, which will be held in July and August.
As Dublin's best performing public bus operator, we're going to continue to work really hard on delivering for our customers and our communities.
Stay City Apart Hotels. Half apartment, half hotel. Warm beds, comfy sofas, and fully equipped kitchens. We offer guests more, so you can do more. Cook, sleep, work, play. Welcoming, accommodating, and big beds for jumping. Smart travellers choose Stay City because Stay City is the smart choice. Stay City, half apartment, half hotel, all across Europe. Save 10% every time you book at staycity.com.
My first memory of GAA would probably have been in Croke Park with my father. That would be in the early 1950s.
As a young lad, brought down to watch one of my brother's matches.
Playing under 10 hurling, and I say hurling, not camogie, because I played on the boys' team.
My feeling about the GAA was more a social one than a games one, because I thought it was a great way for all the kids to get to know each other.
Mum and Dad always brought us up to have each other's backs. We'd all go to each other's matches. No matter what we were doing or playing, we'd all support each other. I'm playing for the club 37 years, I think, now, but I also coach my 2 daughters' teams.
It's great. It really is a great feeling to have the kids down there. And now all of their friends are beginning to come from the same community and the same focus on the club, so it's a mirror of what happened to me in my childhood, I suppose.
We made more friends down the years and had more fun down the years than ever we would anywhere else.
Mum fostered that through us as well. She was chief bottle washer. She'd have jerseys upon jerseys out in the line. 3 of my offspring are married, and they met their better halves through the club.
The friends and relationships I got out of it. Looking back, that was really what the GAA was about. Community, about building relationships with people. My name is Mick Galvin.
My name is Mary Galvin.
My name is Phil Galvin, and my family roots are in St. Bridget's GAA Club.
Welcome back to Parnell Park for the second half of the Go Ahead Ireland Dublin Senior 2 hurling final. A real upset in Galway today. St Thomas's, the current AIB All-Ireland Club champions, knocked out by Capatackle, who make their first ever senior county final.
Yeah, they've been bridesmaids for a long time, Cappy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is a massive shock, because Thomas's have been so dominant for so long. But
I had to double check it there because I thought, no, that couldn't be right. But no, fair play to Capatackle. St Thomas's have been great champions, but their run for now is over. Their camogie team actually in the final tomorrow against Sarsfields. But our concentration is on a rainy Parnell Park. The Go Ahead Ireland Dublin Senior 2 hurling final. It is Naomh Barróg who lead on the scoreboard 11-7, but they have had a player sent off, and they start the second half with just 14. Coming up at 7:45, the Senior 1 decider, Kilmacud Crokes taking on Nafina. If you can get down to it, because that would be an intriguing contest. If you can't get here, it's going to be live on RTE television. Conor Scully. Battling for it is Neil Clerkin. Ben McSweeney there as well. Upper in. Kicked away, diverted away by any means possible and necessary. And a sniper shot coming from Tom Cullen, who is looking to make an impact, having come off the bench, and he has.
what a way to introduce yourself. Just 30 odd seconds in and fired that over the bar nicely. Big ruck there, and I think initially a substitute, Eoghan O'Donoghue had done well for Barróg, but the ball just skittered away from him a little bit and allowed that opportunity for Cullen.
Josh Rooney goes long. Great catch, Jack O'Shea. What is it about Jack O'Shea's and great catches? Killian Hayes just got away from him. Stolen back by Ryan. Adam Rooney. Ryan. And Paddy Doyle couldn't keep it in play.
Oh, he did really well. A nice bit of interplay there by Shane Ryan. Just that second hand pass just went a little bit far over Paddy Doyle's head, but they had worked it nicely and they know they're going to have to do that.
Intercepted. Barrow pop it off. Sean Gallagher scored a point in the first half. Bottled up. Drops it. Just too many bodies for him to beat there. Here's Jack O'Shea. Connor Scully. Paddy Doyle. One-on-one battle. Who's going to win it? Naomh Barróg man out in front. That's Sean Doyle. Gets it outside. McDonald takes a few steps back and takes a fantastic score. His first of the game. What a way to get your first.
Yeah, really nice score from Murray MacDonald because he was under a little bit of pressure. He had to turn back. Be very easy to slip in these conditions, but he found that ball nicely between the posts.
Éanna Boland. Brian MacDonald did enough. Paddy Doyle there to battle for it. Naomh Barróg steal away with it. Sean Gallagher surging. Lovely little dance inside by Ryan. Ryan gets the shot away. Ryan from an incredibly tight angle and against the elements. That's the score of the game so far.
Excellent work, first from Gallagher and then from Ryan. And that little hand pass to Paddy Doyle had broken down a little while ago, so he mightn't have been feeling the best of himself, but geez, what a score there to fire his side. What is it, 5 ahead now?
It was a mix of a county hurling final and Dancing with the Stars there, given what he did with his feet to get into the space. Not that I watched Dancing with the Stars, Shane, of course you understand.
Of course not, no.
You're disappointed you weren't asked on it, aren't you? You know, William with Naomh Olaf tomorrow, you never know.
Yeah, my feet don't move too quick these days.
Shot released by Connor Scully. Wide. I'll just repeat it because it may not come across, but it's raining really heavily. Very difficult conditions. Ryan couldn't quite get it under control.
And that was great pressure put on Scully by Barróg, who, as I said, they're a man down, but still to be able to get that pressure on is impressive.
Tom Cullen. Brian MacDonald. Almost nonchalantly. Fantastic. We're seeing an exhibition of shooting in this game, aren't we?
Yeah, really nice score from MacDonald from distance there. And like with the weather, with it being greasy, really nice. And Tom Cullen has come on, had 1 assist, 1 point. That's the impact you want as a manager.
And that's a free in.
Oh.
Well, when you're down to 14 players, you just quite simply cannot give away frees like this.
And it's given oxygen to Plunketts as well. Like, they got one score really well worked, and this one's for nothing.
He won't go for it, will he?
Don't think so. There's 5 on the line.
No, he won't. Neil Plunkett. And you're a manager now. I'd imagine you'd have given out to any player who did.
Yeah, unless the lad had an absolute rocket of a shot. And yeah. Now maybe Clerkin does have a rocket of a shot when he goes for a goal, but if they had a rocket, maybe you'd be thinking go for it. Catch.
What a fantastic catch that was from Owen Hart. Hart making his way down the field, upended by Conor Foley. Fair tackle, good work by the full-back. Or was it? No, it's a free in.
I did think he was initially flaked on there by Foley, and the referee waited a second, and then I thought he was going to call for over-carrying, but maybe he was just doing a silent advantage.
Our referee for this, by the way, is Dean Alford. A yellow card. I thought maybe he was playing the advantage and letting it go because they were granted a long way from goal, but looking like they might have got in there. In fairness to the referee, it was a smart thing to do.
He did signal that it was for a flake.
Yeah. But because he let it go, I thought it wasn't a foul, but it was. And again, the ref is closer to it. He would have had a good view.
Brilliant work from Hart. I mean, to catch that ball and head off and have such a convoy coming after him to stay cool was really impressive. Is that a first miss for Kitts?
Wide.
Yeah.
Intercepted. Trying to carry it out. Adam Rooney. Paddy Doyle. Overcarried in a free in.
He's saying that his arm was being held there. We might see it if we get a replay, but he's saying that his arm was held. And as a player, your options then are drop the ball to the ground or try and fight and hold on and try and get loose. And we'll see here maybe. Not quite this time, but again, that's a handy free being given to Plunketts, and you'd expect Clerkin to knock it over. A couple of subs.
Plunketts make a change. Ben Moore comes in. I think it is Sean Clerkin who's heading off. A reminder, extra time and penalties if required. Wide. Just pulled it a little, Neil Clerkin.
Yeah, that's the last thing you expect there. A chance to pull it back to within 2 points. A let off for Barróg. And by the way, leading up to that, Plunketts had hit a Barróg spare man. And when you have the extra man out the field, like, Plunketts should be making sure that they never hit a spare Barróg man. They should be trying to move them around as much as possible.
Paddy McDonald slips it through to Sean Gallagher. 2-on-2. Sean Doyle tries to make it break his way. Plunkett's defended quite well. Comes out to O'Brien. Intercepted, but then left behind by O'Donoghue.
It's all about fight here.
David Phelan. Trying to get there is Ryan, putting the pressure on, but Plunketts have secured the possession. Ben Moore didn't catch that one right. Niall Ring tries to cut it off at the pass. Taken very well by the defender. I think that's Rory MacDonald, who got that excellent point a few moments ago. Back it goes from Niall Ring. Connor Gibson. Paddy Doyle just goes direct. That's a fantastic catch by Sean Doyle, who is fouled, and it's a free in. Hurling is simple but brilliant sometimes.
Oh, that's brilliant play from Sean Doyle. And Conor Foley, who's already on a yellow card, he'll have to be on his best behaviour. And you know, it's natural for a referee to look to even up the numbers as well if there's already been a red card. But really excellent from Sean Doyle. I just wonder, Joe Flanagan, who we've talked about earlier, he hasn't been able to start tonight. We saw him go out for the warm-up. Maybe he pulled up in the warm-up, maybe they knew he wouldn't be able to start and come on late. If Barróg can bring him on at some point, and we hope he can come on at some point, he could give them a serious lift.
Well, again, you've already secured promotion, so if there's any level of injury, you don't risk a player in this game. And of course, there is no provincial campaign to come for either of these two. And that was nailed.
And that's another thing, like Joe Flanagan, such a brilliant free taker, but to have Nathan Kidd there as well.
McSweeney. Could be a goal opportunity. It's McDonald. Pops it inside. Brilliant save. Clerkin thought he was going to ripple the net there, but the keeper, Josh Rooney, came out and made himself big.
Well, we did say beforehand that we saw Rooney making some unbelievable saves in the warm-up, and to smother Clerkin, and Clerkin has been on fire today. Like, that's brilliant stuff. He even put it low, and still Rooney managed to get something onto it.
Really brave goalkeeping, just flung himself at that.
And that's just not by luck of throwing your body out there. He's making sure to make himself as big as possible. He's ready to take the slap of the ball. Like, that's bravery all day, and it's the first goal chance we've had.
Keepers put so much work into that stuff, because I think your natural instinct there is to make yourself small rather than make yourself big. They'll try and work it here. O'Brien, and that's a good score. so they get something out of that attack.
Yeah, that's important to keep the scoreboard ticking, get them back to within 3 once more. It's a lovely
Good catch. Doyle. Adam Rooney. Adam Rooney, that's going to climb and drop. Sean Doyle battling for it inside.
Eoghan Gallagher
gets it away, it's Kidd, and he takes the point. I think it might have been Gallagher who battled for it and got the ball to him. We'll see it here. Kidd with the finish, but Gallagher made it.
Yeah, really good work from Gallagher. Surrounded by, including 4 defenders there, gets it away to Kidd. And I mean, that's the difference. When you're down a man, but you can truck it into the square and still win a ball, that allows you to stay in the game.
McDonald. A little bit too much on that. Oh. Owen Hart felt that one.
That was Ben Moore. Ooh, he was going cutting briars. Again, what Plunketts need there is disciplined defending. Force Barróg to work it out. They're down a man. Make them pass the ball as much as possible.
Paddy Doyle. Brace kindly for Plunketts and stealing away his Popa. Regathered by Ryan. Real scramble for that Slitter. A scramble that has been won by Naomh Barróg. Doyle gets it away to Gallagher. Gallagher forced outside by Foley. Intercepted Connor Scully. Plunkett's trying to work it out.
Great work.
Just too many bodies around him. Got smothered. Here's Ryan, who wins the free in. And Adam Rooney's giving it the full Milan, isn't he?
He sure is. Like Rory MacDonald, the way he came back and he just sprinted until he got that block in. That's the sort of stuff that decides these county finals. Even before that, Plunketts had a sideline ball. I think it's the 3rd time in a match they've had a sideline ball and they hit it straight to a Barróg man. What could have been a scoring situation for themselves is now a scoring situation for Barróg.
Kidd. Couldn't quite keep it on target. The gap remains at 4. Running on to this Dennis McSweeney. McSweeney keeps the ball alive, but too much green and red around him. Naomh Barróg working out. Paddy Doyle. Didn't overcarry. Good work, Sean Gallagher. Gallagher runs into a bit of space and he overcarried that. Did he know it's fouled the other way?
He's given the point. He's given the point, Oisín, and like the turnover at the top end of the pitch, the Barróg tackling in the corner at the end line. So good, so impressive. Worked it out calmly. Paddy Doyle under pressure. He waited that extra split second for the hand pass. Gallagher didn't panic when he got clipped and put that ball over the bar. And since the red card, which happened probably about the 26th minute or something like that, it's a level game, 6 points apiece since then. saying
they're cheering everything, aren't they?
I think they're saying that the goalie stepped outside the 6-yard box hitting that. He's throwing on the 21.
And the result of that is a clash ball on the 20-metre line. It's funny, Gallagher took off and fist pumped and jumped like they'd scored a goal.
All these moments are huge now, Oisin.
Scramble on. Plunketts with defending to do. And they do it well. Well worked by Tom Cullen, who has played both football and hurling at the top level with this club. Here is Brian McDonald. And it goes out over the line, and a line ball to Naomh Barróg.
Plunketts had the ball, they were coming out on the front foot, and again it's a pass not hitting the hand. Hit the floor and then it turned it into a 50-50.
McDonald goes after it. Up against Scully. Scully does well, now trying to sweep his own heart. McDonald has it. Gallagher. Was he fouled by Killian Hayes? He was. Killian Hayes, who'd have a bit of inter-county experience, fouling Sean Gallagher. Well, maybe it's because it has been quite stop-start, but that numerical disadvantage doesn't seem to have hit Barróg quite yet.
And that's down to Plunkett's not using the ball well enough and making the pitch wide enough and actually hitting those accurate passes. They'll be frustrated with that.
Éanna Boland. Free out. Well, it's not the player's fault. It is a lot of it down to the conditions, but it's gone very scrappy.
It's interesting to look at Barróg on the right hand side. You can't see it on the screen. Paddy Doyle is standing on one side of the pitch and you have Niall Ring standing on the other. They're just determined not to give away a silly goal and they're leaving their forwards to kind of work out numbered at the other end.
Bill McCormack, long delivery. Who's going to break two? Trying to get in there is Dennis McSweeney. Plunketts have it under control. That's Ben McSweeney. Didn't quite get enough on it.
That's a morale snapping wide there. He didn't catch it right, never hit it in anger at all. And another let off for Barróg and another chance for their supporters to get G'd up.
Rooney. It's just a swarm of bodies around the sliotar. No one is taking a step back. Can someone take a step forward? Well, they can all take steps forward. It's finding space after you take those few steps forward. That's the difficulty in this game. And it's a free to Plunketts.
Well, Shane Ryan had done brilliantly initially, and he's been so good in the second half. Got onto the ball a lot. Won rocks, got a nice point at one stage, and he lost his hurley. Probably didn't know what to do, and a small bit harsh, but can you do Clerkin now?
Clerkin. And all the cheer you're hearing is from those in green and red.
They've gotten just one of their last five. They've converted just one of their last 5 scoring opportunities too.
I think the sliotar went missing.
Well, Barróg, I don't know if it's by accident or design. There's a couple of things here, like Sean Gallagher was slow to get up after the last free. This incident here, it'll serve them well to slow this game down.
You can call it cynicism or you can say they're well drilled. McDonald trying to get over that one, but Dennis McSweeney is well drilled. He gets it up and goes for a run. Is met by a shoulder, spills out over the line. It's an Naomh Barróg ball.
You can see Barróg are fired up here. Anytime there's a collision, they're looking to get bodies in there. No, their backs are to the wall, being down a man, but played so well to stay 5 points clear.
Gallagher. Breaks for Rooney. Rooney gets a shot away and gets a really good score.
Like a nice sideline into space from Sean Gallagher, broken very well by Doyle, and nice finish from Rooney.
Boland. Phelan over carries, free to Naomh Barróg.
I don't think the referee was left with any option there. He took, one side step two, came back again, and ultimately the referee probably had no choice. And Kidd, I think he's missed 2 of his last 3, so probably be feeling a small bit of pressure standing over this one.
Kidd. I think when it comes to free taking, Kidd is the GOAT.
Well played, Oisin.
Kick forward by Scully. Dennis McSweeney scoops it back into the path of Scully. Scully, they need a goal. Will they go for one here? They'll take the point. And a good one by Conor Scully.
Yeah, they needed that after missing so many scoring opportunities. It could have been a free for Dennis McSweeney on the sideline for taking a late hit, but the referee looked at it, decided it wasn't, and a good finish from Scully.
Rooney goes long. Sean Doyle couldn't make it stick.
Plunketts have had trouble on their own sideline a couple of times.
That's a trickler.
Yeah.
And a Naomh Barróg ball.
It's been a consistent issue for them throughout this game. And again, it's just a reason for the Barróg supporters to get riled up and fire up their team again.
Sean Gallagher. Sean Doyle. Did well to get there, couldn't get it under control, but still battling. Got the pass away. Kieran Gallagher goes after it, but he can't get there. Neil Clerkin. Clerkin going long. Going after it, Ben McSweeney. McSweeney might be thinking goal.
No.
Oh, popped it off, but it didn't come kindly to Brennan.
Look at the numbers Barróg have back as well.
And Kidd was there to get possession, settle things down. Now it's MacDonald. Sean Gallagher. Paddy Doyle. Looking for Kieran Gallagher and finding him. And Gallagher has the time to regather. A little bit too much of that shown to Plunketts. Trying to get onto it now, Ben Moore. Killian Hayes. Good ball, Ben McSweeney. McSweeney with Connor Gibson stuck to him. That's a free out.
It's just been a consistent team that the ball hasn't stuck up front for Plunketts often enough, and it allows a defender like Connor Gibson to get in there and having a couple of bites at the cherry, and then all of a sudden Hayes is under pressure. Or sorry, I should say Ben McSweeney. And you're forced into a situation where you foul the ball.
Could be another great day for Naomh Barróg. Free for Plunketts.
But again, Plunketts just aren't getting the ball out easy because Barróg are working so hard, and maybe partly Plunketts would like to be using the ball a little bit better. And Barróg have been more efficient working that ball all day. And it's Joe Flanagan in. Another lift to the team with 4 minutes to go.
Well, you can understand what they were trying to do. Drop it in. Create a goal chance. They need one.
Yeah, they've scored just 2 of their last 7 attempts, and one of those was a goal chance. They've had every opportunity to get back into this game, but
Paddy Doyle. Adam Rooney. Sean Gallagher gets away from him, but he will get a second bite at that particular cherry. Sean Gallagher wants a point, maybe a goal. Gallagher!
Oh.
Good save. And it's worth another look.
I thought he'd taken steps here. He's had a good 8 or 9 steps there, and Jack O'Shea's having a couple of bites at the cherry. As a defender, you'd be frustrated that that's not called for steps, but really good running from Gallagher.
Now, Naomh Barróg battling on 2 fronts this year. In Senior 2 football, they reached the semi-final, beaten by a very good Temple Oak Sing Street.
Oh, sorry, he's gone for the 65, not a free.
Lots of dual players involved. I'm sure Nathan Kidd doesn't mind the debate here, unless of course it's turned over, which it has been. Well, he's arguing I didn't quite know where to strike it from.
Well, I thought the whole thing was, if it was going to be a free inside, I thought it would have been near the 21, and I thought he just gave it as a 65 because the keeper saved it. So, hard to understand what happened there.
Adam Rooney, will they get the point anyway? It was meant to be.
Wow.
And it's looking very much meant to be for Naomh Barróg today.
Well, look, Rooney had some tough moments in the first half giving away a freeze, but the 2 points he's got in the second half have been brilliant.
Oh, what a catch. They're on top now. They're running away with this one. Ryan, Sean Gallagher. Gallagher breaking tackles. Nathan Kidd trying to get some time and space. Somehow the ball is worked forward. Somehow they get it forward. Naomh Barróg, who've been down to 14 players since the first half, have got a free in.
Gaina Boland is going to wonder how he gave away the free there when his helmet came off. And see, he's nursing his teeth, I think. Sean Doyle is down, and we said at the other end that Plunketts weren't really making the ball stick. He certainly has managed to do that.
And judging by the look on some of the Plunketts players' faces, they know that it's done.
I think it is a free. Yeah, I think it is a free for Doyle. He's done so well.
Well, Éoghan Boland is just down at the moment. Let's hope he's okay. Sorry, I'm saying it's done. 7 points in a hurling game, even with this little amount of time left. You never know.
But the trouble is, Plunketts don't really look like scoring. They've had chances, and they've had a couple of demoralising wides, shots that weren't hit fully with conviction, or a goal chance. The right man was in the right place at the right time, but I suppose you have to put that down to Josh Rooney too. Incredible save. Just at the other end, Barróg have just looked dangerous up there. The ball has stuck. They've punished Plunketts.
Well, let's hope Éoghan Boland is okay. He's a real warrior. Nathan Kidd lining this one up. Officially founded in 1974, based in the Kilbarrack Foxfield parish. They've had some good days along the way. This will be right up there with them. And Nathan Kidd is just making sure.
10 points from freeze and another one from play. He's had a spectacular game.
Well, it's quite the way for them to celebrate a 50th anniversary. Naomh Barróg. Paddy Doyle. Paddy Doyle. In fairness to Brian McDonald, he didn't give up on that one. Joe Flanagan came out to meet it. Plunketts trying to get it forward. And they've got the decision, but they've a long way to go to goal.
Again, that tackling from Barróg. They lost the ball. Flanagan swinging a hurley and just doing anything to slow up Plunketts.
Ben McSweeney will try and get under this one, try and give his team some hope. It was really well defended. I think it was Gibson back there. And that's a free in. But it's what you'd call a smart foul. A little bit of afters.
I'm just not fully sure how we came to that decision.
Let's have a look.
Both players were trying to be clever here. So look, Ring, very clever. He lost his hurley, tried to just get in the way of the man who did something that should be imagined would happen in a WWE ring.
We mentioned Owen Hart earlier on, but it wasn't Owen Hart who was involved in the WWE move there. Anyway, they have a free. Clerkin has to go for it. They have to work a goal here. They've no other choice. He has to Paul Flynn it maybe. Clerkin didn't quite catch it right. Sometimes that nearly works out in those situations. Not there, and that's a free out. And it's time to celebrate for Naomh Barróg. In good news, you'll be able to watch the next game on RTE television. In bad news, Joe Fortune will be on it. He's just arrived. Great catch. They're seeing this one home in style. Sean Doyle, just too many players around him there.
But again, Doyle to actually claim that ball when there was 4 Plunketts players not too far away from him. That's been the difference.
David Phelan. And nipping in there and stealing it, Nathan Kidd. Taking it away, Ryan. Ryan didn't get enough on the shot. Probably won't matter too much at this stage. McCormick comes out and collects. McCormick is dispossessed by Flanagan, but also fouled by Flanagan.
But again, there's nothing easy for Plunketts. They can't walk the ball out.
And that is a Naomh Barróg ball. Well, it'll tell you what this game and what this title means to both teams, that Plunketts look desperately disappointed, even though they are going up to Senior 1. And Naomh Barróg will join them. Sean Gallagher. Naomh Barróg are the go-ahead Senior 2 Dublin champions. And look what it means to them. 20 points to 12, the final score. They lost a player through a red card in the first half, but they worked hard. They took their scores, and they've got their hands on the cup.
It's incredible win, Oisin. I mean, to do this, having lost the player in whatever it was, the 26th, 27th minute, and to dominate the rest of the game. And Plunketts, they tried their hearts out. It just wasn't a going day for them. They couldn't just get anything going at all. They were missing easy scores. But you've got to look at this Barróg team. The fight that they had to stop ball coming up the field, where their players were having to go more or less man on man. And if lads had to drop back, then they'd come back up the field and join the attack. Sean Gallagher was, he was like a piston all day, up and down. Shane Ryan, I thought he had a brilliant second half playing there, wearing the number 12 jersey. The ball was sticking to Sean Doyle at the top end of the pitch, and that same stuff wasn't happening for Plunketts.
Let's have a look at the highlights of this game. This will make very pleasurable viewing for Naomh Barróg. Started well, Neil Clerkin. This was a really well worked chance and shot and point.
That earlier point from Clerkin, I think it was one of only 3 that Plunketts got the whole game from play. Maybe 4 actually. Their substitute, Tom Cullen, came on and hit one.
Clerkin took his chances in the first half when they were presented. Nathan Kidd on the other side.
Yeah, and some of these scores were great, but if you were told that your team would be down a man but for 34, 35 minutes and concede only 4 from play, you'd be amazed. I am amazed.
And it was goal chances. It wasn't the only thing that the game was decided on, but Plunketts didn't take their goal chances when they came, and that was a big difference in the end.
The kid, like you said, he was a bit of a goat all day. 11 points, 10 of those from frees.
They just did the simple things well at times. Naomh Barróg, on that occasion it was Killian Hayes who guided it over, but more examples of doing things well here from Sean Doyle and then Nathan Kidd. Paddy Doyle. Owen Hart. What a score this was.
So good, so good. And this was during the period where Barróg took over. Not too long after all of that, now the red card comes, but they just dominated all the same. There's Hart once more.
Hart did well. Kid was brilliant.
At different stages, different players stepped up for Barróg. I mentioned Shane Ryan in the second half. Sean Gallagher was excellent. Sean Doyle inside. Kidd, Hart, Nolan. They all had. There was a period where Nolan won 3 frees in about 5 minutes.
Yep. Well, it's a short enough dart ride home for those fans, but it'll be one of the best journeys they've ever had.
There's the red card. I mean, Robbie Reedy will obviously be very happy that his team got over the line. Nobody likes to get sent off in a fine, so that's tough for him personally, but his team did come out on top. What a free that was by Clarkin. As well, just Barróg played the conditions so well. They're hunting in packs. The way they worked it out from the back, they weren't spilling the ball in the same way that Plunketts were. This was a big moment. Could easily have broken a Plunketts way, said Paddy Doyle. Really good all day. Tom Cullen there, really good score. I thought that was going to kick off a Plunketts comeback in the second half.
McDonald, this was really good.
Lovely score, yeah.
This wasn't bad either.
Yeah, Shane Ryan had such an influential second half.
And they tried their best. Tom Cullen inside to Brian McDonald. Brian McDonald, who in fairness to him after the game was shaking the hands of all the Naomh Barróg players. Very sportsmanlike gesture.
I think that was 5 from play. I hadn't McDonald's one marked down, but that was a lovely score.
Paddy McDonald was a launch pad all day.
Just look at the ball sticking. The difference that makes in these conditions. Especially when you're down a man.
He was outstanding, Sean Doyle, wasn't he?
He was brilliant, yeah.
Good stick work by Ben McSweeney. And had this gone in, it might have been a very different game. But it was a great save by Josh Rooney.
That would have brought it back to a point. That was a huge moment.
Well, in the background, the trophy presentation being made. In fairness to the fans of Naomh Barróg and Plunketts, they get that there's a second game to come. They get that it's raining, so they didn't go out onto the pitch, which shows real discipline and maturity as supporters. So fair play to them. I imagine they're more eager to get back to the clubhouse now than they are to get out onto the pitch on a rainy night. The rain did help that, but Shane, you've had a lot of success as a player and as a manager as well. You know that people get carried away in their emotions sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. There'll be some lock-in tonight up at the Barróg Club.
But what I mean is that they didn't get carried away and didn't go out onto the pitch. They were wise.
I know, fair play.
The rain doesn't stop that.
There's more games going on there on that pitch this weekend, Oisin. We have to mind it.
That's true, yeah. And in fairness to him, they didn't go out on the pitch. They get it.
It's a great score from Rooney. He got 2 in the second half. Just huge scores that were like daggers to Plunkett.
There are so many performances that you could pick out from the Naomh Barróg point of view. Easy to say that about the winners. There was a few from Plunketts as well. Dennis McSweeney worked incredibly hard. Conor Scully, this was a good point. At a time they possibly needed the goal, but you wouldn't blame him for not going for it, even though when you look at it there, maybe he could have popped the pass, but he took it on and he got it. What about this from Sean Gallagher?
So the referee booked Jack O'Shea. Then it looked like it was a 65. It ended up being a ball that was thrown in. And then Rooney with his second. Lovely score.
Fantastic. Somehow they just managed to keep the ball going forward all night. Sean Doyle winning the free. At this stage it was done and dusted. They were just kind of cruising. And that's why they do it. The trophy heading back to Naomh Barróg. They were already back up in Senior 1, or up in Senior 1, but now they're going with a piece of tin in tow. Naomh Barróg get the victory. Congratulations to them. Hard luck to Plunketts. Don't forget the Go Ahead Ireland Dublin Senior 1 final is going to be on RTE television, or if you're outside the island of Ireland, on GA Go. That's it from Shane and myself. Enjoy the rest of the hurling weekend, the bank holiday weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.